Good Sunday afternoon, everybody. Thank you for tuning in today with our little episode and first episode pilot of Engage the Underground with our special guest. We have just starting the band Dev. Then also we have a Vintage Future. We have Danksta in the house, and we have something for tomorrow. So this is the lovely venue. And we host some of our events here, Bands for Bands Entertainment. As you can see, great room and great place to see a show. So we're going to come over here and say hello to our friend Josh and Mr. Dice, who's behind the camera. Dice, what's up, man?
Hey, man, just having a good time.
Right on. Well, what got you doing all this stuff? How did this even start?
Well, I originally started with the idea that I would do a studio in my house. And when COVID hit and broke in March, I just said, I called Mike up and said, hey, we do live streaming. And we've grown from a couple of cameras to now a 6-camera solution and streaming pretty much every Friday and Saturday.
If you're in a band, make sure you hit up Mr. Dice Man back here. It's pretty cool, and it sheds some light, I feel like, on the Colorado community a little bit and what is going on behind the scenes and, the people that are still kind of scared to come out. I don't want to say scared. The people that are cautious to come out and gives them an opportunity and a window of time to the live music industry in Colorado. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely, and we do a lot of replays, so everything's on our Facebook and YouTube page. We're starting to put content on our website.
And let's shoot that website out for the viewers here.
Sure, it's www.shootingdicestudios.com.
This is the man right here, and we're going to make our way up to the podium, and so let's follow the leader here. We'll get to the stage, and this is the venue stage. Pretty awesome place. We absolutely love having events here. So follow me up. Welcome to the beautiful venue stage. I cannot tell you the exact specs of this, but I can tell you that we've seen nationals in here like Great White, like Firehouse. We've had a ton of amazing bands here. So but with that being said, we're actually hosting a great show here, Tantric, and we have some tickets to give away. So if you guys would stay tuned, stay joining us. And I guess with that being said, let's go ahead and welcome our first guest to the stage. Let's welcome to the stage Dev, everybody. And they will be performing live at the Tantric show on March 12th. So again, giving away some VIP tickets right here. But before we do any of that, let's go ahead and get started with these amazing dudes right here and hitting the scene pretty hard. So I know you guys are kind of the new kids on the block, it seems like. I mean, not so much as musicians, but as a new formed band. What do you think it takes to start a band in this day and age in the industry? And what would you say would be the obstacles of forming a band?
Well, there's different criteria, I think, that you have to kind of meet in order to even be on the playground. You got to have, a teacher told me one time, and I think it's pretty profound and pretty true. You got to have the ABCs of success. You got to have ability, you got to be able to do what it is you're supposed to do, and you got to have the break, and you got to have the courage to step through the door. And
it's absolutely a business. I mean, that's the thing.
Absolutely.
It's not just, hey, let's, especially, listen, none of us are spring chickens sitting here in the seat.
No, sir.
And the thing is it takes a business mind to really get your music out there and understand what it takes to, get people to listen and to walk away and, wanting to play your music after you get off the stage, wanting more. So I love your thoughts on that, man. What are your influences, guys? What makes you drive the sound of this new kid on the block? I'm just kidding, man. The new awesome sound of Dev.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, as a musician, my influences are pretty simple. They're pretty classic. I like the old school stuff, the Metallica, Slayer, Iron Maiden style stuff. In this project, the sounds that Vance is having us do are really, there's a lot of big rock sounds there, which I like. It's kind of new for me to play that style of stuff, and I'm really enjoying it quite a bit.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, you cannot go wrong with the Slayers and Panteras and Suicidal Tendencies. And, now, how serious is this lineup? I mean, do you guys plan on, touring and recording? I mean, what would you say the likelihood of that happening?
Well, this band was actually sort of a quasi reboot, and if you actually look at the name, it's got a long E on it, so it's actually pronounced Deve. And what we actually found this word in an old dictionary, because some words get dropped off every so often because they're just unused, and the definition is to deafen as with noise. And this is really more like I've done a lot of tribute stuff and some other original bands, and this is like more of like a self-expression. But like Brian said, we're aiming for the fences, with the choruses and the other things. We want basically people to be able to walk away and still have the tune inside their head, and that's like the mark of a good song in my book.
Now, how long have you been together, guys? What is it? Just
not all that long. I played with Brian in a band called Genocide Method for a brief period. But when you got quality musicians, a lot of guys can, they just you find the right person for the right fit, and things just happen. So, we first practiced, it was like, wow, we had magic, and we were all having a lot of fun. And so it really, time becomes like a non-negotiable at that point, where it just becomes part of, hey, we're doing this. This is how good it sounds. What are we going for? What is the audience going to be? What is the audience? What's their experience going to be like when we go and play this live?
Definitely. And again, it's providing that, something that you feel like the audience will take away, whether it be, hey, man, I'm going to go in and get my workout on because these guys just have high energy, or I love what the lyrics are saying, or, it's a song about my ex-girlfriend. I can relate to that, whatever it may be. No pun intended for all the people out there that have ex-girlfriends, and my thoughts are with you. Just kidding. But, I think that's great, man. And I know, Vance and I know each other, and, I've seen him in a few different bands. And I know that when Vance puts his heart and mind into something, he tends to really put out a great product, man. So, I guess no recording yet, obviously, right? We haven't gotten that yet. And so tell me more about getting in the studio and what you think your record would be like.
Well, despite the fact that this is something that Vance has been working on for quite some time, I think that every group of musicians comes together and makes something that sounds a little different. So while we have a template that comes from his past work on this project, the guys that are playing it together now, we're going to bring our own stuff. And sometimes you don't know what that's going to be until you're in the studio and hearing the recordings of it. But for sure, we want it to sound big and powerful and also be catchy. We're looking to really connect with the audience and have them feel what we're doing and get into it. So hopefully that can come out in the studio.
Now, do you care, as far as writing styles, would you say you're focused more on the art, or are you focused more on getting the attention of the masses?
Wow, that's a good question. I think it's a combination of the two is the best thing to say, because I love positive contamination. You have negative contamination, you have positive contamination. And what, just like Brian was saying, even though I had been working on this body of work for a while, what the other guys bring to it, I'm like, every time they do something that's like not what I had intended, I'm loving it. That to me is like, that is sort of like, watching your child out on the soccer field playing, and like, wow, I didn't teach him that. He just learned that and everything else, And so you have
absolutely
just a bigger joy, a bigger experience with that.
If you're not having fun, then you gotta move on. I mean, listen, I don't care if you're in a tribute band, if you're playing, technical or non-technical, or just focused on the writing of the music. If you're not having fun, you don't enjoy who you're playing with, we all know that it slowly crumbles. It becomes a brotherhood.
Absolutely.
It becomes family. And, you're going to fight like family. You're going to have your issues. You're going to go through the struggles. But if you can make it through all that, there's something nice at the end of that tunnel. It's how I've always felt. And, but, it's funny when playing in bands myself and understanding the musicianhood of it all, I've always realized that when you're getting on that brink of something important is either when you move forward or you crumble. And it's, it's like that in life in general, right? You're testing kind of the boundaries of, I'm about to hit something big, and generally a lot of bands, that's where they fail. We're going to go on tour. I can't do it, man. I got a day job. I'm going on tour. I just had a child. We're going to go on tour. I hate your guts. Whatever it may be.
It's almost a given.
It can be. So anyway, let's talk about Tantric a little bit. You guys going to play on the show. I know I recently added you. Man, it's going to be a fun show. I can't wait. Tantric, those guys have been around for a while. Singer and I want to say guitar player are known for a band prior to that in Days of the New. Yes. And so they're actually a pretty big band. And something cool about Tantric, they never stopped touring during the pandemic at all. They haven't stopped touring. And, people have really respected them. And,
Gotta respect that. Yeah.
I know some people have gotten mad at them for that, But March 12th, man, I really appreciate you guys, getting on this new pilot interview, Engage the Underground, Bands for Bands Entertainment. I'm Elon, which I don't think I even said my name earlier. This is brand new. We're super excited, and can't wait to see you guys play a set the day of the show, man. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having us, man. Appreciate it.
All right, perfect. All right, so we're going to bring up our next guests. And let's welcome to the lovely venue stage. Once again, state-of-the-art, renovated. It's been around for about 3 years now. Welcome to the stage, our friends in Danksta right here. We have Justin and Shane. Come on over here to the left, and we'll make sure this guy is on. So there you go, my friend. How's your Sunday treating you guys?
Good.
Awesome, man.
Good. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And the Danksta guys, I know that this kind of goes way, way back. With the world-famous Johnsons, a lot of the Denverites, I guess we call them, may know the world-famous Johnsons. But we kind of formed a whole new vibe and lineup as Justin entered the band. And Justin over here, I don't know, what I've heard, I listened to the track a few times, man. I believe the track was called Mental Breakdown. And I heard all kinds of stuff in there. We'll get to that in a little bit. I think we're going to listen to a sample of that. But what's going on, guys? Any plans for what's the plans for the near future of the band? Any touring, recording? What's up?
So obviously we got the show on Friday with Tantric. We've got a show coming up that we can't say anything about. That's actually going to be right here, and I don't want to get in trouble, but it's. Yeah. You're
going to be in trouble, man.
But anyways, that is going to be probably one of the biggest shows I've ever played, and Shane too. So, but anyways, that's happening. And then we're actually going into the studio, Elon, 1st of April. We write like crazy. So we've written all kinds of stuff, but we're going to head back into the studio and record some tracks. So
Nice. So it looks like you got some pretty good goals in the band right now.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say your ultimate goal is, man? Like, what would be it if you guys could name one thing? If you said right now, the world stops, what would be the one thing that you would love to see happen for Danksta?
Shoot. Just to be touring, man. Touring a lot. Be out there playing constantly would be fine for me, man.
See, listen, bro, less is more, because look. A lot of bands, that's all they really want, man. They just, if you can make a day job out of this and do what you love, that's winning the lottery anymore in the music business. But at the same time, not, man. If you work hard and you build your product, you can do it. It's a very, very possible thing. And I think both, Shane and Justin over here, you're not new to playing music, and that's what I really respect about both of you. You have longevity. You when you put your music together, you care about your product, and listening to this track, again, we'll get to it in a second, but I definitely really heard more of these influences coming out, man, and it was just kind of exciting to hear what I've heard, especially from the guitar. I mean, playing, listen, bro, your chops are just really up to speed, man. Where do you get some of that influence from?
Oh, I get everybody, man. I take a little bit from here, from there, from just a bunch of different people.
Just a cool cat, bro. And, name a craziest moment for me in the Danksta / you could even go back to world famous, but what would you say a crazy moment would be, man?
Well, I don't know if it's a crazy moment, but you had mentioned the the world stopping and all that kind of stuff. So we literally 1 year ago today, we dropped our very first CD. So March 7th, 2020, 1 week before the world stopped. And talk about bad timing, Elon. Hey, let's release a CD 1 week before the world stops. That's a great idea. But I am thankful, man, it got out there.
No one would ever have known, you know?
Yeah, but
you know what?
I'm thankful that it got out there. And
it was the way that it went.
In terms of like crazy stuff, man, I don't know.
So no
I mean,
hookers and blow jumping out of cupcakes or anything like that, you know?
Dude, we're old, man. I don't know.
None
probably got some of that stuff.
No, none of that going on.
All right, well, you know, I was looking for an exciting moment there, but apparently...
Exciting is like a last-minute gig and like, you know, oh my gosh, you know, yeah. It's not as cool as you think, okay?
For as long, you know, listen, I've been doing this for a minute too, and I understand the musicianship it takes. What, you know, how do you guys stay motivated in practice to actually, you know, stay excited to play the music that you continue to offer the fans, man? What keeps your heart pumping, man?
Go ahead, Shane.
For me, it's the band, the cats I'm playing with, man. They're all top notch. They're not big-headed. You know, it's just a joy to play with them, man, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I would
that.
say,
I love that.
to add on to that, I would say, like, when we first started, I felt like we had something to prove. And so, you know, when we originally formed the Danksta thing, those early rehearsals and practices, it was like we had something to prove. We had something to say. And so that motivated me, and I think it motivated the entire band. And as we continued to write and things kept flowing, it just came out of us. Like who we were, it just flowed. And man, like 10 practices later, we had like an entire record written.
So that's how it happens sometimes, you know. Sometimes you're just collaborating, gelling.
Yeah.
You get the vibe. You get together. You guys are having a beer or not a
100%.
beer, and then, you know, all of a sudden music can just form like that.
Well, and I knew, so I fronted the World Famous Johnsons for 1 year, and Shane was in that band, and I knew early on that we had a chemistry that was very special. I was like, dude, we can write great music. I knew we could do it. We just got to get in the same room and make it happen. So for me, to be under the Danksta umbrella and to write all new music and to have kind of like a fresh take on stuff was unbelievable. And the stuff, the ideas and the stuff just kept flowing out of us. It was amazing.
That's awesome. Well, that's a perfect segue. Let's go ahead and listen to a little sample of Mental Breakdown, man. I feel like that's what I was having after 12 months of sitting in my goddamn house. And so thank you for playing Mental Breakdown, because this definitely reminds me of what I felt like for having a pandemic and sitting in my house. So let's go ahead and spin the track and take a listen, man.
What a track, Elon.
So that's Mental Breakdown by the Dankstas. So, you know, listen, man, I've always loved what you guys are doing. I love the groove. It just gives me that feeling of, you know, Suicidal Tendencies meets Judas Priest, you know, meets, I don't even know, you know, maybe even a little groove from Pantera. You know, you're of course, your vocals. And I think what kind of give me the Suicidal Tendencies is in Mental Breakdown, you do this kind of spoken type thing where you kind of calm down your voice and you're not always hitting, you know, those notes, and, you know, and you kind of just get a little bit crazy, almost a little bit punk, man, you know, sounding honestly from back in the day. So, you know, I could tell the influences are coming from all over the place. So that was Mental Breakdown. Let's talk about the Tantric show. You guys excited to play it?
Oh, hell yeah. Definitely. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we've done this. We played with Tantric before. This is second time. Yeah.
I was just explaining to Dev that those guys never stopped touring. They toured the entire pandemic. They don't even understand. You know, I was explaining to them during the advance. You know, it's called an advance when you're talking to the band, and you know, all the things they need before they get there. Their setup, their stage plot. And I was talking to them, and they were really confused about my requirements for social distancing, because they go, well, we didn't have to do that anywhere else. And I said, really? They go, yeah, we haven't stopped touring. So I think they might have been hitting a lot of remote spots that didn't have. And listen, I'm all about safety. I think here at the venue and Bands for Bands, we want to make sure people come in, feel comfortable. The layout here is very respectful, very safe, and we're social distance here. I don't have a damn ruler out, but we care about the people feeling comfortable. We understand that on this side you got the people who are over it, they don't care about it, they're just done with it, and on this side you get some people who are still kind of scared. We want to invite those people out and say, listen, I don't want to say you have anything to worry about because everything's a risk, but we are following the protocol, and it's a safe environment to listen to live music. So come have a good time. We're actually giving away a pair of Tantric tickets right here. And so if you comment, I believe, on this live stream, just send us a comment and go ahead and write your name, whatever, give us a little shout out, and then we'll give away the tickets in that format. So I guess with that being said, thanks for coming out, guys. Spending this lovely Sunday. It's 70 degrees in Denver right now.
It's very hot. And I'm wearing
thanks for coming down. Cannot wait for the show, guys. Cannot wait. All right.
All right, man.
Rock
Thanks,
on,
brother.
guys. Rock on, guys.
Thanks, man.
So that was Danksta, and we're gonna bring up our next guest, and that's going to be a Vintage Future. Please welcome to the stage a Vintage Future, everybody. Definitely very excited to have these guys here, and got that track playing for the Vintage Future. Listen, I've listened to quite a few moments of your music, and I know you have one track out there that you're really pushing, and you can kind of hear it playing a little bit in the background there. Codependent seems like the one, it's a lyrical video right now. We'll get to that a little bit later, man, but just getting to the nitty-gritty here. Who's your favorite promoter to work with?
Well, there's this guy. You're actually the first. You were actually one of the first promoters I worked with, even way, way back in the day. My first gig ever was at the Aggie that you were part of a promotion on. So.
Very nice, man. Very nice. It's been a minute.
It has been a
It's
straight
been about
minute.
15 years, actually.
15 years.
You were like 15.
I was still eating Cheerios, and
10 years. It's been a minute.
Nice.
Can I say Don King for my answer?
Don King. He likes working with boxing. He's, as you can see, he's definitely fought Mike Tyson.
Yeah. I fought Tyson a couple of times. He's not all that.
So let's talk about the band a little bit, man. We have tons and tons of material out there. What's your newest song?
Our newest song right now is actually a working title called Melancholy. We don't have that one available yet, but oh man, that one is just gonna slay.
That's awesome.
It slaps, which I hear the kids saying all the time.
Yeah, it's a really powerful song. Really powerful.
Now, what would you guys say inspires the musical writing of a Vintage Future? What gives you that motivation to write the music?
I should probably take that one.
You should definitely take that.
Mostly being a kid that nobody liked, that wears makeup. That's pretty much it. No, basically, I'll just go into the writing process real quick. It's pretty quick and simple. I just put the guitars down, send it to him, and then program drums to what he's doing, and then eventually we record it with him in the studio. It's pretty straightforward. So
now, I did take quite a lot of notice to the drumming, actually. Now, my understanding of what you're saying is you program and then you come in and play a similar rhythm to what is already pre-programmed?
Yeah, so basically he's got the mind of a drummer anyway, so he comes up with these crazy things that are often unplayable even by the best in the world. And so I basically try and find like a happy middle ground in there where it's like, okay, well, this is playable and sounds really cool. I need to add more groove here. And so I'll just kind of take bits and pieces of his inspiration and come up with my own part to it.
Yeah, he realifies it.
Yeah.
He makes it real.
I make it possible.
He makes it possible.
I definitely noticed the off-timing rhythms that were in songs like Codependent, where, and I really appreciate the separation of the rhythm section in your music. Yeah. A lot of bands don't do that. Some bands do, some bands don't. But when I hear a cool lead and then you got a different rhythm going on in the background, I can imagine, that's not an easy format for drummers at all, man.
No, he's definitely working in this project has made me the drummer that I am, because it is everything that he brings to me is some new unsurmountable obstacle. Like, how am I going to figure out how to make this section work? And then I get through it, and then it becomes effortless. So his writing style has actually made me a better drummer because of it, because it forces me to not just put on a track and play straight 4 time and just jam to my favorite drummers. It really forces me to, like,
Do not let the steampunk, which is very cool, by the way, but don't let that fool you in the music, ladies and gentlemen. They very much have strong influences all the way from Seven Dust to, to some, just the rhythmic nature of it all. Kill Switch, Engage. They definitely have influences from all walks of music. You're not going to get the steampunk brand that you would think. You are going to get absolute metal, punk.
Yeah, no banjos.
Rock.
We don't play banjos.
That's beautiful. What about tour plans, man? Do you feel like this is a serious enough project to tour?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm buying an RV here pretty soon, and we're gonna rough it for a while on the road once everything opens up, obviously.
Very cool, very cool. And new recording, man. Anything like that going on?
Yep. So we actually just finished vocals on our next album. So I'm mixing it, and basically it will be out most likely the next couple of months, I would imagine. We're gonna do some media blitzing, and we'll have a couple of videos, and we'll release singles like they do in this time period. So.
Great, man. Well, that's the segued right into Codependent, man. Very, very cool track. What made you choose this track?
Well, I think, one, it was the Vex, Tiffany, our singer. That was the first one that she really came in and fell in love with. And her delivery and the power on that song and her voice, we just knew that it had to be the first single. It was just, she just brought so much power to a song that was already driving, So it was like, we wanted to come out of the gate just on fire. And no better way to do that than Codependent, because it is nonstop all the way.
I love the harmony. So I think I don't know if we're airing a little bit of the track now. I can kind of hear it through the monitor here. But let's listen to Codependent a little bit, man. Let's give the audience a sample of what a vintage future is all about.
Yeah, this is what we do.
It's time to open your eyes. Embrace the dark inside. To come to the light and realize that your life's not meaningless. Walk your broken path. No longer torn in.
I mean, how many tracks do we have on harmonies, guys, in this?
It's funny you should ask that. So I have the session split up twice with instruments and vocals. Vocals, we had about 50-plus tracks with all different kinds of effects. Then I would just splash them on there every once in a while and see what kind of fit the vibe. And then there was about 75 tracks total with everything.
Like I said, I love how you come in with some of your growls. It just reminded me of, I mean, I don't want to throw in, everyone hates when you compare any female singer to Evanescence.
Yeah.
But I love how it's like a Kill Switch meets an Evanescence, because her vocals can surely hit those notations.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're growling and kind of hitting those rhythms, with the understanding of rhythm that you have in your writing style, you seem to hit that also with your backup vocals. So definitely appreciate that writing, man. Let's talk about the show. Tantric, March 12th, coming right here to the venue, man. Are you guys excited about this?
I'm super excited. I've been super excited about this for months. I've been a fan of Tantric for freaking years. So when I heard that this was a thing, I went fanboy right away a little bit, and started going through all the old Tantric songs, Rock and Breakdown and Astounded and all that. And I've been amped for this for months. So for me, this is like a penultimate show.
It's going to be amazing. Guys, we're going to have a full house here, obviously, once again, within realm of what the state of Colorado will allow us to have.
Of course.
As you can tell, I am saying that very honorably, but absolutely. And we want to, again, invite people out to this show. I think what has not happened very well is explaining kind of to the person who is still cautious, what would we say to the fan sitting at home who's live streaming, who has not yet gone to a show in 12 months? What would we say, hey, man, it's all right to come out? What would you tell those fans that really want to see a show but are still a little bit unsure about our environment right now?
Well, I can definitely speak to this. We've played probably, 5 shows in the vid time, we'll call it. And it is a different experience, but it's a very, very cool experience all at the same time. I know all of us are very, very hungry for live music, and we're just, we're being cautious. We're being cautious, and I absolutely think that's perfectly okay. But now that things are starting to look a little bit better in the world, and things are going just a little bit nicer, I think as long as you do your social distance thing with the masks and stuff, I don't see any issues.
One thing I've noticed, the venues that we've been having these shows at have done a really excellent job on a management level of making sure that people are staying mask compliant and, really handling those situations well, keeping everybody's best interests at mind. So, I've definitely been worried about it myself, but my experience in actually having been gigging during this time is that people are taking this seriously, and it's relatively safe. It's something that
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And and to add to that, listen, if you have a pre-existing, thing that's going on, and it's something you're concerned about. Obviously, we're not advocating to come out and expose yourself and get sick, but for the people that are kind of on the fence, who are like, I want to do the right thing, I want to support music, I also want to be safe. Again, we follow the protocol. It's been a long year, guys. We've been doing this pandemic for 12 months. We're all climbing out. There's like the sun is still rising. Our kids are going back to school again. Businesses are opening up. The people that are survived, we're very grateful, man. So we're super stoked. Tantric March 12th. You guys are playing third on the lineup, man. Thank you so much for coming down, and
thanks for having us.
We will see you guys March 12th, man. Keep rocking, keep doing what you're doing, guys.
All right, you.
Absolutely. And with that being said, we are going to bring up our final guest of the evening, and welcome to the stage. Something for tomorrow, everybody. I feel like I'm hosting. This is, by the way, for those who haven't come to one of the live shows, this is kind of similar to how I MC, I feel like. So, this is our first time doing this. So anyone who is tuning in for the first time, be gentle. We've never done this format before. And so those trollers on Facebook who are going to give us some bad reviews, we love you too, man, because we're all about love in this environment, okay? Not that I want anything weird to happen here, but, So anyway, this is something for tomorrow. And, yeah, I'm so sorry. So, no, I'm just kidding. All right, so listen, man, that's why I love these guys. We always have a great time. You guys are friends of mine. How you guys feeling today on this lovely Sunday?
Amazing, man. Thankful to be here. Thank you for having us with my bros.
Yeah. We're doing great. It's a beautiful day out. I mean, can't be better.
It's been a long, long year, man, and you guys being the final guest of the night. I mean, it's really cool to kind of sit here in the seat here and know that we've made it through such a long, crazy year, and that we've survived it, and and obviously our thoughts and prayers are out there with the people that have had unfortunate tragedies due to the virus or due to other things. I mean, listen, man, I know a lot of people because I work in a business like this, and every day it seems like I hear something about somebody, and it's just I'm very grateful to be sitting with these great bands, man, and doing these shows, and it's just amazing. So, I just want to thank the people who continue to support the live music, right? And so here we are, something for tomorrow. We got Jason, we have Johnny over here. Johnny plays in a few bands. Johnny actually just played a show last night with Blacklight Dawn. Man, how was the show?
The show went amazing, man. Damn it. I love to open the show. It was a great vibe. We had some, rap and then some metal. And it was kind of like the old days in New York where you had, Beastie Boys and, Slayer doing a show, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I surprised everybody with the rap group last night, just so you know. It was,
up, dude. I was happy to open for them.
And, it was...
It would have been rough, but anyway.
It was awesome. And the thing is they're friends in the Denver community, and it went really well. And that's what I love about Colorado, man. I feel like Colorado's very diverse. You get a lot of people who like all facets of music. Would you agree with that?
We got all facets. I think that's one of the great things about the music scene is we got all angles. But I'll tell you what, last night was a great opportunity to get back at music. Thanks for that opportunity.
Absolutely, man.
Work hard at what you do, and you gave us the opportunity and the platform to kind of get back at what we do. the whole epidemic and the coronavirus has been rough on everybody, and like losing the music and the opportunity to play live sucked, man. You know, honestly, but we hang in there. And last night was like a great moment where you brought it back to us, man, and it was cool. Thanks for putting in the hard work for us, dude.
Oh, absolutely, man. You know, it's my pleasure, and it's.
It was good to get back on stage and do what we do.
Well, like I said, we're lucky to be here, man. I'm very fortunate to be sitting here. Not just fortunate in the setting of business, but fortunate to have a life that I can say I can do this. You know, that I have my health, and we all have probably experienced different things and different, tragedies in life, and to be able to, and music is an expression of that. Music is an expression of what we go through, and what's awesome, man, is, Jason, listen, I remember you from way back in Shadow Work, bro. And, this guy, has been around.
By the way, I met him in Shadow Work.
That's right.
Open jam you had at Herman's Hideaway.
Absolutely.
And that's where I met you as a drummer.
So
You're a badass drummer, by the way. I'm going to interrupt everybody, but you fucking play those drums pretty massively, dude. Come on, dude.
I just look like I'm from Jersey Shore, but I actually play drums as well.
And the keys.
And so that's awesome, man. Happy Keys. Is that like it's like a cartoon I play with my daughter? It's like Happy Keys, Happy Feet. So what's up, man? Jason, dude, listen. I noticed you stepped up, played the guitar and singing at the same time. Is that something that's going to be ongoing? Is that something that you plan on doing for the future of something for tomorrow?
It is. It wasn't planned. It's something that just kind of came out naturally. We lost our singer about a year ago. And over this pandemic, I wrote some songs, and, the guys said, hey, man, you sound pretty damn good singing them. Why don't you just start singing and playing? And so I started working on it, and it's gone so well. It's gone pretty good so far.
Awesome.
Insight, bro. I got hired by a band to go play out in L.A., and I got to go out there, play the Whiskey Go-Go, the Rainbow, and, do the whole, live our dreams kind of thing. But the whole time I was out there, I got to hang out with the musicians, man, and they were always, very 100%. If a guitar player needed to cover the vocals, he would. If a drummer needed to cover the vocals, these guys were professional. They were always 100%. When I came back, I was like, Jay, just learn the vocal parts. You know what I mean? I was like, you're good enough. Do it. If we ever have an issue with the singer, you'll take over the vocals, and we'll just keep going, bro. And, he kind of looked at me like, what the fuck you talking about, But yet it transpired into the whole notion of, let's just do this, man. And, now, man, I'm proud. I'm more proud of him than ever.
You guys are doing great, man. You guys are doing great. Something for Tomorrow is always a band. Not only do I love the music in your band, truly, because I feel like I feel all kinds of different European influences from the metal side. I always mention every time Jason and I talk, we're always like, man, we love the band Cold. And I'm like, I hear, those influences, especially the guitar writing that you do, man. You're really into a lot of rhythm and harmony, and you're into, some of your dirty, acoustic type melodies are freaking awesome. I think that they flow great. And so how long has this lineup currently been here for, this actual lineup, man?
Actually, since October? September.
Because what year?
This lineup with just me, you, and Jason.
Me and you, man.
So we got a new bass player back in September. Because
if you're talking about our history a little bit, though.
Well,
wow.
we go way back.
So what you're basically saying is you're bringing in musicians from the back door, not telling the wife?
Yeah, about the back door.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. See, every time I'm sitting with Johnny, he always makes something weird happen, and then we don't know if we should keep the show going or stop the show. I'm pretty sure. Oh, alert! Like, what are those? So let's talk about more of kind of the state of the industry. I mean, how do you feel about where we're at with the pandemic and the music industry right now, man? I mean, what do you think is going on? What's your feel of the overall everything, I guess?
I'm actually optimistic about this because, a lot of people really miss live music right now. This last year, I think it's put some perspective with a lot of people because a lot of things that they were used to, maybe even taken for granted, all of a sudden aren't there. And the one thing I've noticed, I played one show, with you, not too long ago, and it was amazing, and people were just, there's so much energy in the crowd, so much energy with all the bands and all
That's
the
what's so
staff.
cool about this setting right here, guys, is, being the guy who's kind of throwing the events, and kind of going back to my grassroots of doing local, because you can't really do that many nationals right now. This is like the one national of the year, right? And we're going to grow into more. It's going to get there, guys. But I've been able to kind of step back and rethink and get back to that heart of Denver, the local music. And, and I'll tell you what, man, there's not one piece of the event or any ounce of energy I put less into promoting a local lineup than I would a national. And I feel like, when I'm gearing up, I'm getting dressed, I'm getting ready to go to the show like last night, I felt like I was going to a national event. I didn't feel like it was local at all because of the vibe of the audience and the bands and the excitement for how long we've all been kind of sitting around waiting for this. I'll tell you what, it doesn't feel any less energetic than I would feel if, Drowning Pool was hitting the stage.
This is what I honestly feel about the whole experience with the pandemic, is it gave everybody an opportunity, unfortunately, to sit back and realize what they look into music for. Like, the whole music scene, I feel, was becoming a little saturated. People were doing it for the wrong reasons, and it became very, very, combusted, very busy. And then, the pandemic slowed things down. And the true musicians that I think do it out of their heart really stuck with it, man. They really dug in deep and was like, man, this is what I do, you know what I mean? So, honestly, I think it kind of brought that back out. And a lot of the people and a lot of the bands that were doing it for the wrong reasons, maybe the attention or whatever, kind of got put in their spot. And the guys that really do this because we're musicians, it brought that back out, and it's given the audience even more so that.
I agree, and you can sense that during the live performances.
The energy was electric at your show.
And, it's going to be electric on March 12th at Tantric as well. And I'm not trying to do a cheesy plug there, but honestly, I'm super stoked about it. But before we get to the actual show, listen, I kind of want to pick your brains a little more, man. If there was any piece of advice you could give a musician who was just starting off in Denver, and he wasn't sure, should I be, I just want to play in my basement and be a hobbyist, or I want to go and exploit my talent, what would that piece of advice be, man?
You want this first? You want me?
I'll take it. Don't give up. Just keep plugging away at it. If you love doing what you do, then the good things will come, and just keep working on it, and surround yourself around with people that are better than you, because they'll always raise you to the bar that you want to get to.
I love that. I always say, even in my own family, my motto is I want everyone to be just that much better than me, but not beat the shit out of me. But I want to follow the lead of, listen, I want my child to always succeed just that much more than I did. But not so much to where I have, I'm going to take the walk of shame. But listen, I want her to be better in all ways. I want to be inspired. And the people around me, man, that I feel are truly put their heart and effort into what they do, whether it be family, friends, music, your business, it shows. But listen, if you believe in what you do, it's going to show in what you do.
Well, here's my take on that exact question, bro. Okay, I've thought about this. I've gave a great thought. And my advice to musicians that are starting out or becoming new in the scene would be keep going. You're going to have people that hate on you. You're going to have people that don't like what you do. You're going to have people that don't really agree or even like you. You know what I mean? You could be somebody that's not liked, but
when you choose to play live, you are a target, a walking target. They're going to love you or hate you, man.
Love or hate relationship. So
some of the best bands in the world, you read through these comments of the song, they got 5 million views, and you go, God, a lot of people hate them. And then you read through another 100, and you go, man, people love them. Which one is it? You know what? You're going to have, that's what critics are, and there's always going to be that, man. Don't listen to them.
Don't be detoured by the negative and the bad advice and the haters. Just always believe in yourself and work hard and do it.
These guys are a positive, listen, Jason and Johnny have always been a positive influence, and just in general, we always just shoot the shit, and sometimes we can't leave the damn building because we keep talking. We're not even talking about music. We're just talking about life,
Like an hour.
And
life,
and I love that, man. I think that it's important to do that. Let's just segue right into kind of that interesting thought about life, and the song is called "The Beginning," which I think, knowing how knowing you guys a little bit, I can kind of feel why you call it the beginning. It's a rebirth, if you will. And so if we don't, let's listen to a little track, man. Let's listen to how the beginning sounds. This is Jason on the vocals as well. The beginning. Really cool track, man. What made you choose this track, guys?
Well, honestly, it was probably the easiest track to put down as the first single. That's why we chose it. But it had some good hooks to it, and it just felt like it was a strong song.
Well, tell them about that meaning in the beginning, bro. I mean, that's a strong.
Well,
powerful.
and you know, this whole process of you know, replacing myself as the lead singer of the band has been a new beginning for me. And it's also reminiscent of you know, situations with old lead singers that have LSD, lead singer disease, and they, you know, you feel like you get to a point with them, and you've explained, hey, you know, this is what we need to do to be able to get over, you know, the problems that we're having, and they're like, yeah,
I like the LSD reference there. I think we need a reference for every bandmate, though. There should be LDD, right, which is late drummer disorder. And then let's see what else. Well, we just have to get one for the bass players too, which is I don't know. We'll figure it out. No, late drummer disorder.
But yeah, so you know, you feel like you get somewhere with somebody, and then they just go back to being the same person that they've been, and they don't grow at all, and you're just like, fuck, man, we're right back here at the beginning where we started. And there's a lot of relationships like that. It doesn't have to be in music. It just, you know, a lot of relationships where you feel like you get somewhere and then you're just back at the start again, and that's pretty much what the song's about.
You're like on a treadmill. You know, you're walking. You can see the finish line, but no matter how much you walk, you just never actually reach it. You know, and so what do you do to reach that finish line, guys? What's the key to that success?
I will say one of the things about this latest songs that we have been writing with this guy at the vocals has been reinventing the songs. And that's been refreshing. It's been kind of insightful. Not playing them the way we used to, or trying to we created a new path with these songs. He's totally adding his own parts and everything. And I think that's been real powerful, dude.
I think you're doing great. Oh, no, man. I mean, you know.
I can say that this last year, you know, I almost feel like without the pandemic, I might not have had the time to actually put into this, because we would have been gigging and promoting and all this stuff, and like, I was able to really dig deep and, like, you know, just find a voice, you know, and say, all right, this is what
I'm hearing that a lot with the pandemic, and that, you know, and that's, you know, all I got to say to the viewers, and you know, which, you know, if there's 5 or 5 million, which, well, listen, this is a pilot. We're building this. We're testing something out. March 12th, Tantric, man, we're super excited about the show. You know, Tantric, I've been saying this throughout the entire interview, they have not stopped touring. You know, they kind of took the pandemic and they just went, you know, yeah, you're there, but we're not stopping what we love, which is a great thing. Like, I promise they're going to kill it. We have a ton of tickets sold for this show within realms of the Colorado statutes as well. And but the thing is you know, we're moving forward, man. And you know, all I got to say is support your local venues, your local businesses. You know, without the you know, even if you can't go to a show, you know, buy a ticket, man. Come out and, you know, buy a gift card to the venue. You know, make sure you're taking care of those around you, because some of the ones that have struggled the most has absolutely been the music industry. They have been shut down 100%, and you know, and slowly kind of reemerging from the ashes, just like the phoenix. And so here we go. We're ready to do this. Tantric, March 12th. Again, we're giving away tickets. Just place your comment right there on the live stream, and we will draw some names. We have 2 pairs of VIP tickets. Those VIP tickets get you in for entry, and they get you to meet the band. And so make sure, even on the repost, if you comment, then we will pick some names to win these tickets. But hopefully until next time, this is called Engage the Underground, everybody. We had Dev, Danksta, we had a Vintage Future, and right here is something for tomorrow. Make sure you check out Shootin' Dice Studios back there. Again, you met Mr. Dice earlier. This is the venue hosting some amazing nationals and locals and supporting companies like Mind Bands for Bands Entertainment. We do both local and national events, and you know, it's just great having you guys here, man. Thank you, and thank you to all the bands who have spent the Sunday with us. We truly appreciate it, and so we hope to see you guys. Decide to keep doing this, so rock on, man. Keep kicking ass out.